Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 571 based on novel. So let's start. The Underworld War has come to an end at this moment, and many strong men such as the Endless Flame Alliance are also sighing for a while. This battle has been full of twists and turns. If it wasn't for Hade's righteousness and courage, I am afraid that everyone would have already fallen here, but now the ending, naturally it's a pleasure to see. Xiao Tianming took Xiao Yang and swept towards the heavenly lock void realm below. On the other hand, the people behind him were all quietly wandering in the void, waiting for the return of Xiao Yang and the two. Now that the first battle in the underworld is over, once the mess here is sorted out, the army can start and go to the Endless Fire realm to regroup. At that time, the overall strength of the Endless Flame Alliance will probably skyrocket to a terrifying level, even Dakian. The two superpowers in the world cannot be easily shaken. Senior, according to legend, Tiansuo has no realm. There should be many strong people in my Xiao family, why are there only a few of you? Along the way, Xiao Yang was also half understood. The big Xiao clan, once the first race of the Great Thousand World, and now the survivors are only a few outstanding figures including the Great Elder. Such a tragic situation is really shocking. At the beginning, in order to deal with the evil clan outside the realm, my Xiao clan deployed too much power, and was finally killed by the Angel Kingdom and the center of the human world. Now here, it's just me, the Holy King, and the Patriarch. When Xiao Yang asked about this, Xiao Tianming's arrogant eyes could not help revealing a deep self-blame. If they could have sensed the slaughtering angel's ambition earlier, how could the Xiao family have fallen to such a point? Da. Pub Future adds. While speaking, the two of them arrived at the heavenly lock void realm. At the moment, there is no world in the lock of heaven. Without the obstruction of the seal enchantment, a huge chaotic space appears in front of the two, and the chaotic chains full of extraordinary power are placed here in a disorderly manner. I don't know if it was intentional or used to guard against any power. These chains completely imprisoned the entire space, and the three sarcophagi slowly floated in the void, releasing a steady stream of divine might. In such a region, even a powerful being like Xiao Tianming felt a great pressure, and even the rebellious demon robe behind Xiao Yang was trembling slightly at this moment. Their power is as vulnerable as a feather to the terrifying existence in this last sarcophagus, and they can only bow their heads and serve as ministers. Just arriving in front of the empty space where the three coffins stood horizontally, the source of the third holy flame in Xiao Yang's body jumped strangely, and suddenly turned into a pattern of reincarnation full of complicated lines hovering over his shoulders, as if trying to remember something. The predecessor of the third holy flame, I am afraid it has a lot of origins with this Xiao clan patriarch. This is. Even though he had already guessed in his heart, Xiao Yang couldn't help but ask. The Xiao clan's patriarch, this is probably the number one person in the Great Thousand World, but the situation of the patriarch is a bit special. Xiao Tianming shook his head helplessly. This is the real foundation of the Xiao family's ability to become the first race in the Great Thousand World, but at the beginning, whether it was the leader of the siege outside the realm or the decisive battle of attacking the evil clan outside the realm, the patriarch did not seem to appear, and finally appeared. At that time, he fell into a state of suspended animation, which has continued to this day. Hurry up, we'll leave here when you're done. Xiao Yang didn't ask any further questions, as if he had a feeling somewhere, there were probably a lot of secrets in it. Being able to make a quasi-god powerhouse look like this has already surpassed the scope that he can handle now. Xiao Tianming stood aside. The next moment, the third holy flame above Xiao Yang's shoulder seemed to capture something. It was carrying Xiao Yang's body, turned into a beam of brilliance, and instantly approached the edge of the sarcophagus. Just when Xiao Yang was moving, the countless chains of the heavens trembled in the emptiness of the heavenly locks, and the milky white energy ripples swayed slightly, chasing after Xiao Yang's figure, trying to pour into the sarcophagus together. Who? The fiery red demigod power around Xiao Tianming surged up for it, and the roar resounded through the heavens and the earth, and when he raised his hands, the supreme power that shattered the heavens and the earth erupted directly, launching an appalling offensive against these forces. The milky white energy ripples were shaken by these attacks, and they were instantly broken here. With the disappearance of the milky white energy, Xiao Yang's body also poured into the sarcophagus, and there seemed to be something waiting for Xiao Yang. Inflammation. This fluctuation. Could it be the mysterious person the patriarch met in the ancient battlefield? Seeing that there was no attribute in those milky white energy ripples, Xiao Tianming shook his head helplessly. According to his guess, The reason why the patriarch did not participate in the last plan to hunt the leader of the outside world was probably because he was restrained by the so-called ancient battlefield. What is the ancient battlefield? According to legend, it was the first-generation king of all beasts, the 10-color swallowing python, the ***** of poison, the ***** of flowers, and the **** of the moon, where the gods fell. But throughout the ages, no one knew the existence of this area, except for the patriarch. The bone of the dragon god, the fourth realm of burning dew, the flame god cauldron, multiple holy flames, a 9-story spiritual palace. Your achievement is extraordinary. Inside the sarcophagus, it was a very chaotic void. Xiao Yang had just stepped into it, and the majestic voices that made his soul tremble resounded. This fluctuation, the soul of the gods. Even with Xiao Yang's concentration at this time, he couldn't help but feel a sense of adoration. Just such a majestic voice made the power in Xiao Yang's body become deadly. At this level, who else is there other than Xiao Yuntian, the head of the Xiao clan? The 9th level spiritual palace is already his limit. Although it is said that the power of the soul has reached the peak of the **** realm, if the 10-level spiritual palace cannot be recast, Xiao Yang will not be able to break through to the **** realm soul in his entire life. The devil's robe has brought your power to the end of reincarnation, but you haven't fully controlled it, and you have a lot of power in your body, making your reincarnation road even more difficult. Today, I will send you a real good fortune. As for the dragon god's bone, waiting for the golden dragon king to step into the demigod level, he will naturally have a way for you to break through to the divine body. The 10th floor spiritual palace, now you can only rely on the kingdom of angels. The faint voice sounded, as if a loving old man was caring and pointing the way forward for the younger generation. Thank you, senior. The many doubts in his heart were slowly resolved by his voice, and Xiao Yang could only respectfully give a standard Xiao clan gift to this chaotic void. In this world, it seems that there are not only the existence of the center of the human world and the leader of the world. It seems that there is a more strange aura. The ancient battlefield has completely fallen into his hands. What is the source of this aura? When the voice fell, the power in the entire underworld began to surge, and a steady stream of energy gathered towards Xiao Yang's body in the sarcophagus. These powers are not like pulling the seedlings to promote growth, but more like helping Xiao Yang to neutralize the powers in the body, the power of the devil, the bone of the dragon god, and even the holy flame. Once this kind of transformation occurs, I am afraid that this descendant of the Xiao family will become the first person in the world. No one can match it. The sky is clear and the sun is shining brightly, and the central region is still the prosperous scenery of the past. In the center of the central territory, there is a huge city called Tiancheng. In the city, there are countless treasures, and even the top forces in the countless central territories have taken root here. People from the 10,000 Fire sect. At the door of a rather elegant courtyard, Xiao Yang held a rather simple wooden sign in his palm, and the guards immediately looked at Xiao Yang suspiciously. Since Xiao Yang's reputation has been greatly shaken, the 10,000 Fire sect has been directly ranked among the top forces in the central territory because of Xiao Yang. There is also a place for the 10,000 Fire sect in Tiancheng. In Tiancheng, there is a space passage back to the 10,000 Fire sect, which was specially built by Xiao Gui. After all, the 10,000 Fire sect base camp is not a short distance from the core of the central territory, and the space passage is indispensable as a means of transportation. Sir, please come here. After Shurenshi, the figure in charge of guarding the gate of the courtyard verified the token and said respectfully to him. He was not the original disciple of 10,000 Fire sect, but he joined it later because of Xiao Yang's reputation. After Xiao Yang covered his face now, he could not recognize Xiao Yang for a while, but the token in Xiao Yang's hand, but it is the genuine 10,000 Fire Order. This token, I am afraid that only the senior management of 10,000 Fire sect can have it. Send me back. Seeing this, Xiao Yang smiled slightly, and immediately followed the guards towards the space passage. Boom. After a while, Xiao Yang stepped into the space passage, but it took some time to return to the 10,000 Fire sect from here. On the other side, in the residence of the Wanhua sect, in the mansion. Hey, two adults, are you still used to living in the past few days? At this time, Hu Yi and a group of senior members of the Wanhua sect accompanied the four figures, strolling leisurely in a garden, and laughed. The four people in front of them were Xiao Gui, Luo Menglan, and Xiao Zifan and his wife who had escaped from the 4th floor of the Earth Spirit Pagoda. Following Xiao Yang's instructions, Xiao Zifan and the others came to 10,000 Fire sect directly, and when they saw Xiao Gui for the first time, they recognized the power of the same bloodline. At that time, the scene was terrifying, and the 10,000 Fire sect was like a great disaster. After all, Xiao Zifan and his wife, no matter who, the strength was far from the power of the 10,000 Fire sect at this time, but now with the dramatic scene, the two also recognized each other. Now that he hides his aura, he temporarily lives in the 10,000 Fire sect. Moreover, with Xiao Zifan's cunning state of mind, it is not difficult to see Xiao Gui's thoughts towards Luo Menglan. He is naturally happy to be a father, while Yu Rua looks at Luo Menglan and likes it quite a bit. Why didn't you come back, big brother? It won't be delayed by anything, right? Xiao Gui followed Luo Menglan, raised his forehead and looked into the distance. After dozens of days, Xiao Gui also gradually accepted his parents. Now that his parents are by his side and his beloved is close at hand, the only thing Xiao Gui is worried about is Xiao Yang. And now Xiao Zifan's hatred for Li Huanyu is also because Xiao Gui has weakened a lot. Sect Master, several adults, Lord Xiao Yang, have returned safely. After Shurenshi, Huayun rushed towards here in a hurry, and behind him there was a powerful guy. Dressed in a black robe, Yi Huaheng ancient ruler modified his body to be quite slender, and his aura became extremely fierce. Even some of the powerhouses surrounding Huayi at this time did not have such strength. Lord Xiao Yang, big brother. Excited voices emerged at the same time, looking at the black-robed man with fiery eyes. Hey, everyone, stay safe. Seeing this, Xiao Yang's speed skyrocketed and came directly to everyone's side. He said with relief, a trace of warmth came spontaneously. 4-star Dozian mid-stage? Seeing this, Xiao Gui hit Xiao Yang's chest with a palm, and immediately said with a smile, obviously, he had to thank Xiao Yang for his parents. It's just a fluke. Xiao Yang scratched his head and smiled. It seems that the deepest thing is no longer in the Earth Spirit Pagoda. You little guy is really unexpected. After a while, Xiao Zifan took a step forward. The two seniors. Seeing this, Xiao Yang nodded slightly, and then looked at the two with serious eyes. Xiao Zifan's strength, even in the Earth Spirit realm, was enough to rank among the best. It's good to be back, I'm afraid we have to separate for some time. In an instant, the void squirm-led, and the figures of the old ghost of the Earth Spirit and the headmaster Luo appeared at the same time. Gather at the same time. Everyone will discuss slowly, we still have things to go back first. Seeing the emergence of these powerhouses, Huiyi took the lead in speaking, and immediately all the senior members of the 10,000 Fire sect left here, leaving Xiao Yang and a few people behind. The conversation of the strong is naturally not something they can interfere with. Old DI, what are you? Xiao Yang couldn't help asking. We've met and communicated before. As they spoke, they looked at Xiao Zifan. It was obvious that the two of them had some plans. The two of us have already resigned from the Lingyuan. I'm afraid we will leave the ghost world in the next few days. After a while, the old man said. Will you leave the ghost world in a few days? So anxious. Xiao Yang was even more surprised when he heard the words. Although he had already speculated that Luo Menglan's body was fluctuating like a holy flame, he had not verified it. Let me tell you. Some forces in Guia are restrained and suppressed, and only some special forces in the human world can be completely lifted. Laro Luo and the others are the guardians of a certain holy flame. One of the purposes of going back this time is to inherit the holy flame, and the other is to bring them together. Xiao Zifan said with a smile. It's the cold mist flame that ranks 20th on the sacred flame list. At this time, Luo Menglan, who had always been quiet, said, but this girl's situation seemed to be not very good, and a faint chill appeared all over her body. Cold mist? Xiao Yang asked in surprise. Cold mist flame, this is a core of cloud and mist born in the ethereal, mysterious and unpredictable. It is said that it not only has the power of extreme cold, but also has the effect of interfering with the enemy. It is a holy flame that truly integrates offense and defense. The place we're going to is very close to Menglan and the others, so this time, I'm afraid we will be separated temporarily. Big brother. While speaking, Xiao Gui became choked up for a while, unable to speak for a long time. If it wasn't for Guia insisting on saying goodbye to you, we would probably have left the ghost world at this time, because the holy power in Luo Meng's body is already quite serious, and it is urgent. Headmaster Luo on the side said. Since that's the case, seniors, let's set off immediately. Xiao Yang heard the seriousness of the matter and immediately clasped his fists. Little guy, there will be a period in the future. We'll go to Do Di continent after we've settled the matter. As soon as the words fell, everyone's bodies disappeared into the void at the same time. Be careful on the road. There will be a period in the future. Xiao Yang nodded lightly. Xiao Gui's current situation is not in vain for him to call himself a big brother. After a long time, everyone converged on the Dodi continent, and the Second World War had already begun. The Ghost World, the entrance to the underworld. The Xiao family's 12 tigers, the 10th Hall Yama, the guardian Feng Lao's lineage, and the Xiao Zifan family. At this time, countless people all looked solemn, and their eyes stayed on the black hole in the underworld that was like a shortage of heaven. Where is the entrance for Xiao Yang and others to step into the underworld, and it is also the only exit for everyone to leave the underworld. Bang bang bang. As time goes on, in the black hole of the underworld, a steady stream of chilling and terrifying breaths are released, the breath of the underworld, demons, dark matter and other forces, causing many people in the ghost world to be in a trance. The strength of those powers is no longer something they can compete with. But once they retreat, this ghost world will probably be destroyed in one fell swoop. Returning to the domain master, the power overflowing from the black hole in the underworld has eroded the thousands of miles of territory in my Lahunyu. The thousands of miles of territory have been turned into ruins, and that kind of power is too mysterious, even if it is to gather the power of all the powerhouses in my Lahunyu unpredictable. In a dim sky, many high-level ghost realms gathered together, and worrying information was constantly coming out. In retreat, the Ghost Realm group retreats for 100,000 miles and evacuates all Ghost Realm creatures, and must not be affected by this kind of power. In addition, notify Soul Eater and other Ghost Realms. If the power of the black hole in the underworld is too fierce, if necessary, abandon all Ghost Realms and escape from the Endless Fire Realm. At this moment, Du Chifei was like an ancient empress who dealt with everything alone, and no one could match her arrogance in her words. Even if this is her hometown, but at this time, it can no longer be taken into account. Doing this, will you care about one thing and lose the other? As Du Chifei's orders were passed out in an orderly manner, everyone in the Xiao clan immediately showed ugly expressions on their faces. We have to prepare for the worst. Du Chifei's face was already very ugly at this time. Obviously, he used too much power to resist the energy ripples overflowing from the black hole in the underworld. Boom. At the moment when everyone was discussing, the mouth of the black hole, which was only a few feet in size, actually swelled violently, and a beam of energy like death rays suddenly poured out from it, with an indescribable aura of death, rushing towards the face. That kind of fluctuation is like the real apocalypse for many powerhouses in the ghost world today. Come on. Seeing such a strong destructive force erupting, Du Chifei's beautiful eyes were tightly wrinkled, and then the dazzling power of reincarnation flashed all over her body, and she rushed directly into the black hole of the underworld. The stronger the strength, the greater the responsibility. Wait, this volatility. In such a situation, the blood of everyone in the Xiao clan instantly became boiling, and a long-lost fatigue poured into their hearts. You are? Although the black hole in the underworld expanded, no destructive power erupted at this moment. Instead, all the overflowing power was absorbed by a slightly thin figure at this moment. Looking up, it is a tall and strong figure, with long black hair flowing to the extreme, and a simple cloth set off it like a mortal. Under the thick eyebrows, a pair of Jiu Bo's calm, dark eyes are full of endless awe. The body and the skin are filled with an ancient power, and even the void trembles slightly. As if at the moment it appeared, this world surrendered to it, and an indescribable terrifying coercion spread out. Can you tell me about her? The army behind the man flickered out in a mighty manner, and immediately swept towards the headquarters of the Endless Flame Alliance, and the man's voice was filled with a hint of sadness. When Xiao Yang led many strong men back to the headquarters of the Endless Fire territory, they were greeted by countless deafening roars, even after thousands of miles. Hey, you old men, your life is really tough. On the Endless Altar, the 4 powerhouses of the Xiao clan, the 4 mistresses, Yaoji and all the top powerhouses gathered together, and then a slightly domineering voice sounded slowly. Uncle. Master. Xiao Yang's eyes were slightly tilted back, and soon he saw a smile on the face of a middle-aged man with blonde hair. You bastard, aren't you dead? The Holy King smiled and looked at the Golden Dragon King, and immediately punched the latter's chest heavily. If it were any other person, the terror would have been crushed into powder by him. Is this a god? Such a ferocious punch did not have any power and vision, and the Holy King couldn't help but change his face slightly, and said with some envy, My generation is the hegemon of heaven and earth, how can you be compared with me? Looking at the posture of the Holy King, the Golden Dragon King also seized the opportunity and sneered instantly. For a time, the whole endless altar was very lively. After all, The strong men such as the Holy King and the Golden Dragon King had a real friendship during the First World War. Now they meet, naturally, it is inevitable to sigh. Hey hey. Seeing that these old urchins rarely look like a group of children, Xiao Yan smiled helplessly. What are your plans for waking up this time? At the end of the words, the voice of the Golden Dragon King was suddenly filled with a touch of shocking heroism. What else can you plan? Battle. Since this world has become so unbearable, I am afraid that everything that was lost can only be regained by force. In the faint voice of the Holy King, there is endless anger. At the last moment of the Xiao clan's annihilation, there were not a few forces that fell to the ground. Headed by the center of the human world and the kingdom of angels, there are also the Lord of Wan Yuan in the human world and the mysterious face of Lung Yuan in the ghost world. The Holy King slowly explained the details. The big figures in these forces have been dead for a long time now. Even the strength of some juniors is at most led by some 7 or 8 reincarnation rank powerhouses. It is not enough to be afraid. The kingdom of angels. Facing the voice of the Holy King, the Golden Dragon King shook his head. Obviously, after he woke up, he had already investigated the information. So good. A few days off, I'm afraid I can start. By the way, why are you here? According to what that kid said, shouldn't you be in seclusion in the Dragon Clan now? As if he remembered something, the Holy King suddenly patted his head. The Endless Fire territory was almost attacked by the evil race from outside the territory, and the king rushed over as soon as he left the border. In addition, the Human World Center and the Angel Kingdom were also feigned by the leader of the outside world, but in the end, the Human World Lord and the Slaughter Angel each showed up, which shocked the other side. Said the Golden Dragon King. Master of the human realm, this guy has a bad heart. During the First World War, his strength reached the peak of a demigod, and now he has already become a quasi-god, and he is a tricky character. Where's the patriarch of the Xiao clan? I don't know, the patriarch seems to have his own plans. The first battle in the underworld came to an end, and the mighty shocking information quickly spread among the great thousand worlds and the extraterritorial evil races, causing countless people to feel embarrassed. Countless heads of forces who participated in the encirclement and suppression of the Xiao clan at the beginning were already surrounded by the holy city of the Angel Kingdom, and everyone was panicking. At the beginning, they tried to strangle the Xiao clan and obliterated countless vassal races and their clansmen, but in the end, several of them were able to escape from the underworld. Now that they have reappeared in the world in a powerful posture, that kind of anger is not something they can bear. In the kingdom of angels, in the killing shrine. Your Majesty. Your Majesty. Outside the shrine, there are countless graceful angel guards walking around constantly, as if they are busy with something. The level of sternness has never been seen before. One of the trembling angel shadows hurriedly flew from outside the holy city of angels, hovering at the gate of the shrine with a complicated look. What's the matter? The slaughter angel in the shrine was lying sideways on the slaughter god throne, slender and seductive, with all the curves of the human being on display, with a lazy expression on his face, which seemed to be enjoying the current scene very much. In the battle of the underworld, our coalition forces failed. The King of Darkness turned out to be Xiao Yunming, the younger brother of the patriarch of the Xiao clan, the founder of the power of the devil. Because of the civil strife in our angel kingdom, we didn't use it to heal him. In addition, my angel kingdom was the mastermind who planned to obliterate the Xiao clan in the first place. The grievances have been deep, and now the power of the devil has been completely passed on to Xiao Yang, whose strength has soared to the peak of samsara. In addition to Xiao Yang, as well as the appearance of the Holy King, Xiao Tianming and others, the Xiao clan now has 3 peaks of the 9 reincarnation rank, and 2 demigods. The 2 archangels sent by my kingdom of angels have all fallen, and the center of the human world has been wiped out except for the son of the ******, who was seriously injured. The 6 powerhouses sent by the evil race from outside the territory to attack the underworld, 4 of the 9-layered reincarnation hierarchy, and 1 demigod completely fell, only the guardian of the sky, and the law escaped with serious injuries. A series of shocking information concerning the situation in Dakian slowly sounded from Angel Chenying's ears. Are you all awake? I was a little softer at the beginning. A oozing smile leaked from the corner of the killing angel's mouth, and then he exhaled a breath of hot air, and the angel's shadow turned into a pure white filament, pouring into his belly, becoming part of the latter's power. Humph. Slaughter Angel, this is our last chance. If we lose, you should know what kind of cruel ending you will face. As the shrine became silent again, a dark voice suddenly sounded from behind the shrine. If Xiao Yang and the others were to do it again, this voice would not be unfamiliar. the deputy world master of the center of the human world. Don't worry. This time the day of the Holy Inquisition will be the time of the fall of the Xiao clan. The slaughtering angel's leisurely voice sounded slowly, as if an omniscient female emperor, majestic and majestic. Even if the Xiao family's momentum is soaring now, for her, it is an inexplicable good thing. The power of this madman is even more terrifying than me. Feeling the penetrating smile of the slaughter angel, the figure behind the throne was also slightly moved. This guy's power is actually several times more terrifying than him. I am afraid that he is no different from the Xiao family. It is really terrifying. By the way, what about the world lord of the human world? At the end of the story, Killing Angel also looked at the shadow behind the throne with great interest. Since he left the customs, he has never seen the world master of the human world. What is this guy planning behind his back? My lord naturally has his plans. When asked, Sombra sneered, seeming to avoid the latter's questioning intentionally. Doshan, how can it be so easy to enter? Even if the shadow did not speak, the Killing Angel vaguely guessed something, and the chuckle and arrogance between his lips and teeth grew more and more violent. Human center. At this time, the center of the human world was almost empty. The three rulers of the three great places in the past and the forces under their command, but now there is no trace of a human figure. In the center of the entire human world, there seemed to be only one after another of grey flames beating slightly, and between the beatings, there seemed to be endless flames of heaven and earth surging, and the momentum was immense. The residents of the evil tribes outside the territory, in the Buddhist realm. The first Earth Protector, Fa has returned from the first town demon prison, and his strength has also reached the demigod rank, but the Son of Light is fighting the cost of falling to save the previous Angel Queen. In the 1,000 Buddha grottos in the Buddha realm, in front of a woman wearing a tulle, there was a constant cloud of black energy hovering around. Also, the powerhouse you sent to investigate the ancient battlefield, and now there is no news, I am afraid it is. One after another information is continuously transmitted from the black air mass behind him. Obviously, these are the powerhouses from outside the territory who are responsible for investigating the information. Ancient battlefield. The Tulle Qianying's beautiful eyes moved slightly, as if weighing something. Call the powerful saints. This time the battle of the Angel Kingdom will probably be our last chance. Yes. As soon as the voice fell, calm was restored here. In the entire 1,000 Buddha grotto, now only this young girl who looks harmless to humans and animals is wandering in it, but wherever the latter passes, there is a faint trace of black lingering. The void in it is trembling. Dunz, why are you so persistent? In the depths of the 1,000 Buddha grottos, there is an unusually bright Buddha light flickering, and a very weak voice seems to emerge from it. The order of heaven and earth still needs to be re-established. As an eminent monk in the Buddhist world, you might as well guess, what is the final outcome of this world? The Tulle girl smiled, as if she had already anticipated what happened next. Before this seat was enthroned, there was a technique of divination. In this world, there will be real fighting gods, but it will not be you. Giggle. The voice just fell, and the breath in the Buddha's light disappeared completely. I always feel that apart from Dunz there is a more mysterious aura in this world. I hope I am overthinking it. This time, for the road of fighting gods, I will use the millions of troops outside my territory as a guide to pave the way. Killing Angel, I hope this time I don't live up to my expectations. In the crisp laughter, there seems to be some kind of perfect plan that is slowly going on. In addition, in the underworld, the Xiao clan chief has always been calm, and no one knows his specific situation. As for the way of the gods, I am afraid that due to some force majeure factors, it has already been impossible to come. And the so-called ancient battlefield, from ancient times to the present, I am afraid that only the Xiao clan chief, the leader of the outside world and the world master of the human world know of their existence, but with their strength, they cannot compete with the master of the ancient battlefield. For a time, although the entire Dacian world looked calm, there were dark tides behind the scenes, and even in the Buddhist realm, a wave of trance-like powers of extraterrestrial evil clans kept coming from outside the territory. Obviously, this time, the real decisive battle will probably start in the Kingdom of Angels. The countless flames in the endless fire territory slowly rose, and a more magnificent aura slowly swept away. Today, this place has long become a true holy place in this world, and countless people yearn for it. However, with the return of Xiao Yan and others, there was no major movement in the endless fire territory. Instead, the entire area was filled with very calm fluctuations. The four mistresses and others issued orders one by one in an orderly manner, and the level of defense of the entire endless fire domain was dumbfounded. Under such a strange situation, countless forces in the world are surging one after another. They are naturally aware of the sky-shaking power possessed by the endless fire territory. At the same time, they are also looking forward to how the kingdom of angels will face. There is some kind of vagueness between the feeling of sitting on a mountain and watching a tiger fight. According to the information I got from the powerhouses of the endless fire territory, there is still no information about any action being passed on in the angel kingdom, the center of the human world, or even the base camp outside the Buddha territory. In the hall of the endless fire territory mansion, the 5 powerhouses of the Xiao clan and other core high-level leaders gathered together. Zuna stood up and said, slightly bending over to the many seniors. After the return of everyone, the combination of the many backgrounds of the endless fire territory and Xiao Yang's alchemy methods have already increased the combat power of all the powerhouses in the endless fire territory to their peak. Intelligence. The location of Paradise Lost can't be determined. Now I only have the 4 major spiritual beads in my hand, and the whereabouts of the last spiritual bead are also unknown. Xiao Yang nodded. Obviously there was no better way to deal with it at this time. The angel kingdom and the center of the human world are still opponents that should not be underestimated, and now there are foreign evil races that are eyeing them, and they have to guard against them. After the Golden Dragon King returned to the endless fire territory, he also successfully gave the golden spirit pearl in his hand to Xiao Yang, but now the 5 spirit beads only lack the last earth spirit pearl, which really made Xiao Yang's worries greatly increase. The last spirit orb, if I expected it to be good, it should be in the hands of the human world realm lord. Xiao Tianming got up slightly, and said with a slightly strange look. Master of the human world. This guy's strength and means are superb. As early as the first angel war, it was very difficult. Now even if we join forces, I'm afraid there is no certainty of victory. Hearing Xiao Tianming's opening, the Holy King's eyes couldn't help showing a heavy look. Obviously, the strength of the human world realm lord was enough to make them 2 peak demigod powerhouses overwhelmed. Undoubtedly, with his talent and current strength, I am afraid that he has already reached the quasi-god rank. Since there are already demigods in this world, quasi-gods, why isn't there a fighting god? According to the rumors about my Xiao clan in the past, it is said that there is a fighting ***** in my Xiao clan. Xiao Yang was a little puzzled by this, and he couldn't help but turn his eyes to the 2 seniors. I'm afraid only the 2 of them knew about this kind of obscure matter. Demigods, quasi-gods, of course, have something to do with Do-God, but there seems to be some force between this world that is blocking my promotion of strength, or other factors. The birth of Do-God, I am afraid it is very important. Harsh. And the gap between the demigods and the quasi-gods is too huge. Without a certain grasp, no one will rush to attack the fighting gods. After all, if the impact fails, the only way to fall is to die, and the price is too huge. Xiao Tianming smiled boldly, looking at Xiao Yang. He also had some plans in his heart. Report. Just as everyone was talking, a sharp voice suddenly sounded outside the hall. My lords, this is an angel sticker sent by the kingdom of angels. The king of all beasts hurried in, and in his huge palm was a pure white envelope like jade. Even from a long distance, one could smell a sacred wave from it, that kind of power. Which is far from what ordinary angels can possess. On the wide palm of the king of beasts, a pure white envelope lay quietly on it, and there was an extraordinarily sacred angelic power spreading out, causing everyone to feel awe in their hearts. Senior, don't get angry, this may be a conspiracy to kill the angel. Xiao Yang got up, and just wanted to catch the envelope to find out. A powerful demigod power emerged, and immediately bounced the envelope open and gently lay down in Xiao Tianming's hand. Sooner or later, such a day will come. The angel envelope that Xiao Tianming held lightly in his palm was like a primer that could ignite a volcano at any time, making the atmosphere of the scene extremely hot. 3 days later, the Holy Judgment Mountain of the Angel Kingdom will execute the Holy Judgment, judge the criminal Lei Master, and invite the powerful people from all over the world to share the rewards. Only a few strokes, but the information contained in them made the killing in Xiao Tianming's heart even more intense. This is clearly a frame-up. The cause of the matter between Senior Lei Zhu, Senior Xiao Tianming, and even the clan chief of the Xiao clan is because of the demon world's hegemony. Isn't it a one-sided word from the kingdom of angels? Feeling the power of the angel with a few strokes, the strong people present were moved, and their hearts were filled with unbelievable expressions. In the battle of the underworld, the suspicions of Lord Lei and others have long been revealed, but why does this kingdom of angels go so far? Could it be that they are not afraid of the endless fire domain that now has 3 demigod powerhouses? Or do they have the last confidence that they can cope with today's endless fire? Elder. This is my own responsibility. I don't want to involve the Xiao clan, or even the endless fire territory. After all, you have other responsibilities. Xiao Tianming's deep eyes slowly closed, and immediately a chilling calm aura emerged. That feeling was quite righteous. He doesn't want endless fire territory to be involved for his own private affairs. He will use his own method to settle his own affairs. We are not afraid of the kingdom of angels, it's just that the identities of the various forces are unknown now. If they plan for the worst, they will join forces, even if it is difficult for us to contend. This matter is too dangerous. As the elder of the Xiao clan, I cannot let you go. Trying the risk with oneself. I have offended Holy King, everyone, do it. The Holy King, the Dark King, the Hades, and Xiao Yang looked at each other, and the endless power surged out of their bodies, and then completely enveloped Xiao Tianming's body, suppressing all the aura in his body. Thousands of worlds have been at war with foreign evil clan for countless years, but now that the strong Xiao clan has reappeared in the world, it is difficult to determine whether the Angel Kingdom, the center of the human world, and the foreign evil clan will join forces. After all, the word Xiao clan represents the limit of this piece of heaven and earth lies, even if the grievances between the three of them are constant, but compared with the Xiao family, it is nothing but insignificant. Looking at the actions of several people, Xiao Tianming also had a helpless smile. He knew everyone's concerns, but no one could understand the life experience of Lei Yizhu and himself. Lord Lei, you must be saved. No one is allowed to approach the hall, otherwise the clan rules will deal with it. The elder Xiao Yang roared, and immediately led everyone out of here slowly. Looking at this appearance, it seemed that he wanted to imprison Xiao Tianming, or perhaps he had ulterior motives. This video will end here.